okay, so someone's engaged you. What is the engagement framework? And
Right.
then we'll kind of talk about what the framework for actually working with the team, because a whole lot happens before you actually get to working with the team. So what does that framework look like?
Right, and so what happens before the actual first day you're with the team might fall into the categories of OD, consulting, and facilitation. So we believe in doing quite a bit of upfront work before you get into that room, and that involves meeting the stakeholders. If there's a sponsor different than the team or team leader, meeting the team leader, interviewing the team members, doing some light surveys, teaching some frameworks, and really getting an understanding of who's the organization, what's their philosophy of teaming, what's this unit about, what are some of their challenges, and what do the team members say. So we come in with quite a bit done. Then we take all of that we learned and we bring it to the team, and they get to then, given what we feed back to them, select what they want to work with. We call that contracting and staging.
So the team as a whole chooses what they want to work on. Based on, I guess you've done some analysis on kind of like what some of their challenges are, and maybe what some of their strengths are, and then you kind of feed it back to them and they say, we want to do that.
Well, this is the first time they tell us we're different, because we just feed back to them the data we gathered in interviews and surveys, or maybe a day of observation, but we feed it back neutrally without recommendations or assessments, and then they take their data and they begin the process of self-regulation then. And they'll say to us, so many consultants come in here with their recommendations. You are letting us figure it out. Well, that's what this is. You have to figure it out from the beginning, and that's the first step in to the coaching mode, and a lot of our clients really appreciate that.
It just, what comes up for me is just how in those other modalities, and again, I'm not intending to cast aspersions, like there's amount of shouldness, like in those other modalities, like you should, like I know and you don't, and you should. And what I'm so appreciating is how you start with an approach of an acceptance of this is where you are, and there's not a should or a shouldn't. There's just you showing up, and what do you want to do?
Well, here's an interesting fact. So there are a number of organizations today that are doing team coaching. What they're doing is they're doing a very clear assessment that has a very clear point of view as to what is first, second, third, and then they teach you how to facilitate the method to get to that. We have a lot of frameworks, one's called the team wheel, that has basics. And you would think, well, first start with trust, and after trust you do accountability, after accountability you do conflict. Well, what if what you start with is managing meetings? Maybe get a couple points on the board and do some task-related work first. Get them to make their decision-making and do trust later. Who are we to say? There is an innate wisdom in teams, and there is a place they go to that we can follow along with. Now, we can nudge and test, but you might find oftentimes that the team has a wisdom of its own that we begin to trust. They're resilient, they're resourceful, and if you go with it, you might find yourself on the right path. And that's an act of faith at some level.
Mm-hmm.